Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you again for clicking. Today I'm going to talk about Kikuyu phrases you should never joke with, and these are things that are used in Kikuyu that you should never take lightly. In other words, if I was to use a layman language. So the first phrase that I'm going to talk about is this matter is serious. If you hear someone say this matter is serious, in Kikuyu we say ohoroyo nemorito. Ohoroyo nemorito. Uhoro is like the matter itself. Morito is the seriousness. So if you hear someone say uhoro yoni morito, translated to English in this matter is serious, that is something you should never joke with. And this matter is this phrase is used when a family has an issue, when a marriage has an issue, or where there is a disciplinary issue or a money issue is being addressed. The the cultural meaning to this phrase, and when it is said, is jokes should stop. It shows how serious a matter is. So it just simply says stop joking, laughing should stop, or everyone should just listen. That is the cultural meaning of this phrase. And if you joke with it, of course, people think you are immature, you don't respect elders, or you simply don't understand Kikuyu culture. So let's move to the next phrase. The next phrase is let us sit and discuss this matter. Nitoikare thĩ twarĩrĩrie ũhoro ũyũ. Nitoikare thĩ, which is let us sit, twarĩrĩrie, to discuss this matter. Ũhoro ũyũ. Nĩtũikare thĩ twarĩrĩrie ũhoro ũyũ. Let us sit down and discuss this matter. That is the second phrase that is you should never joke with. Literally, if you hear someone say that, you should just oops. Yeah. So why you should never joke with this phrase? It invites a serious discussion, often a family meeting, a conflict resolution, or a decision making. The cultural meaning to this, it means emotions must cool, wisdom must guide, and also no shouting. When someone just says, let us sit down and discuss this matter, it simply shows some form of maturity. And, there's no shouting or such kind of misusing your language. If you joke with it, you are seen as dismissive, disrespectful, or avoiding responsibility.
Mommy.
So,
Can you friend?
there. The third phrase that I'm going to talk that you should never joke with is this behavior is not good. This behavior is not good. Shekoishi ijega. Kana, or you can also say Shikoishi itire jega. That behavior or this behavior is not good. If you hear such a phrase and why you should not joke with it, this is correction and it's not insult. The cultural meaning to it and the cultural meaning, it is often used by elders, by parents, or authority figures. It carries disappointment. If you joke with it, people feel you ignored correction or you rejected their guidance. That is simply how it is perceived. Now, phrase number 4. Understand this matter properly. Menyo uhoro yuwe. Understand this matter properly. Menya uhoro yuwega. Uhoro is like the matter itself. Menya is understand. Understand this matter properly. Menyo uhoro yuwega. Why you should never joke with this kind of phrase? This phrase signals final warning, seriousness, and consequences. Oops, excuse me, just a second. Okay, and consequences. The cultural meaning to this, it is calm but very heavy. If you joke with it, people assume you are careless and you will face consequences. Because if you cannot first sit down and understand the matter itself, you may just jump into things that might cost you consequences. And that is simply what I just said. Phrase number 5. Marriage matters are not to be joked with. Marriage matters are not to be joked with. Uhoro wa andu mahikanetie ti wa guthaka. Uhoro kana maundu ma andu mahikanetie ti maithero. So, why you should never joke with it? Marriage is treated with respect and restraint. With respect and restraint. The cultural meaning to this is this phrase may come up when elders intervene, especially when there is like a disagreement or a conflict in a marriage and such kind of thing. Or when a relationship is at risk as well. So if you joke with it, people think you're not serious or you do not value marriage. And we know marriage is a big thing in Kikuyu culture. So anything concerning marriage is something that is just not something small. It's treated to be a major thing, like real big or gross in that manner. Exactly. So that is simply how marriage phrase, this marriage phrase is not something to joke with in Kikuyu culture. Phrase number 6. This matter concerns the whole family. This matter concerns the whole family. Uhoro uyu ni wa mucii wothe. Uhoro uyu ni wa mucii wothe. Uhoro is the matter itself. Uyu, that matter, that specific matter. Ni wa mucii wothe. It's for the whole family. This matter requires the whole family. This matter requires the engagement of each family member. Now, this why you should not joke with that phrase. It signals shared responsibility and collective impact. You know, family is also a big thing in the Kikuyu culture, and family is family is not just one person or two people or three people. It's a huge collection of people. So it has to have collective impact in it. And this is what this phrase signals. The cultural meaning to it, it means your actions affect parents, siblings, and relationships. Now, if you joke with it, you appear selfish or also irresponsible. Because, like I said, the family in the Kikuyu culture is a huge collection of people or a huge group of members. And you have to be, there's always that responsibility of being together and being in a being collective, and also showing responsibility at the same time. Now let's look at phrase number 7. Number 7, money is a serious matter. Money is a serious matter. You know, when we talk about Kikuyus, I don't know why there's always something about money. I don't know why. I cannot explain. I don't know why. But well, this is phrase number 7. Money is a serious matter. Besha new horomurito. Besha, which means money, is a serious matter. Besha new horomurito. Now, why you should never joke with this phrase? Money discussions create expectations and affect relationships. I think this is obvious, or this even applies to other people. Now, the cultural meaning to this phrase, money is spoken indirectly. Get that point? Money is spoken indirectly. Now, mommy is not spoken directly. Now, that is typical Kikuyu character. Also, the other cultural meaning to this phrase is money is treated respectfully. That is the other cultural meaning to this phrase. Why you should never joke with this phrase is people may misunderstand your intentions or think you are asking for help or expect support. That is the cultural, that is why you should never joke with such a phrase and how people may perceive it in this matter. Now, let's get to another section. Let's get to point number 8. Point number 8. The phrase that you should never joke with in Kikuyu culture. This hardship should not be laughed about. Or the hardships or this certain let's just stick to hardship. This hardship should not be laughed about. They know you tiwa uthekerero. That is how we translate that phrase in Kikuyu. Thina, which means hardship or a problem. They know you tiwa uthekerero, to be laughed about. uthekererwo. Thĩna ũyũ ti wa gũthekererwo. This hardship should not be laughed about. Now, why you should never joke with this kind of phrase? It relates to illness or death, or it could also mean some kind of suffering. If someone is suffering from a chronic disease, someone is suffering from a certain medical issue, psychological issue, and so many other suffering. Now, the cultural meaning to this phrase, it requires empathy. You have to be empathetic towards the person that is being referred to. It also requires silence. In cases of losing a person or death or a tragic situation or accident, of course, you have to approach the matter with some sort of, let's say, if it is not empathy or support, just silence, a moment of silence. Also, it requires respect. It requires a lot of respect to the person being referred to with this phrase. Now, why you should never joke with this phrase? If you joke with it, you are seen as heartless or lacking compassion, and that comes really, really, really bad. Remember, character is something very important when it comes to Kikuyu culture, and people are not just judged by words, rather by how they carry themselves out, and that is what we call character. So this comes in very handy, and such kind of compassionate is very important in such in hardships or illnesses or such kind of just bad misfortunes that happens in life. Now, we are almost coming to the end. We still have phrase number 6. Phrase number 6 that you should never joke with in Kikuyu culture. And elders are the ones who speak first. Elders are the ones who speak first. If you hear this kind of phrase, just know, athuri nio maragia bere. Athuri in this matter, in this case, it means elders. We call elders athuri. In Kikuyu, we still have the village elders. These are the athuri. Athuri is like men, but in this case we are referring to elders. So athuri neo maragia bere. Elders speak first. Elders always come at the highest hierarchy in Kikuyu culture. So why you should never joke with this kind of phrase? This phrase enforces hierarchy and enforces respect. Remember, we always respect our elders. We must respect our elders in Kikuyu culture. It doesn't matter. You have to respect your elder in Kikuyu culture. So that is where the hierarchy comes automatic, and of course the respect. Now, the cultural meaning to this phrase: speaking before elders is not proper, or speaking before elders is improper. If you joke with this kind of phrase, you appear arrogant or disrespectful, which totally makes sense. In Kikuyu culture, you don't jump. You are not just you don't just behave like you know everything, so you interrupt. You leave the elders to speak first, and you always have to respect someone who is ahead of you. An elder, you have to respect someone who is ahead of you or someone who comes before you. You must respect that person. This is Kikuyu culture, and that is what it requires. So it is what it is. Now, the last phrase, last but not least. The last phrase that we have, silence itself is a language. Silence is a language. Now, gukira ona kuonota kugodo. Kana kwaga kugodo ona kuonota ta kugodo. I don't know how I should make sense with it. I think there's an English saying that I can't remember very well, but silence is the best weapon. Thank you. Silence is the best weapon. Now, this is actually very similar to silence is the best weapon. So, why you should never joke with this kind of phrase? It often means disappointment, warning, or final decisions. Some things don't need you to discuss or to talk or to expound or to explain. Some things just need silence. There are things that just don't need blah 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 blah. They just need you to zip up or shut up, and yeah. The cultural meaning to this phrase: silence can speak louder than words. Silence can speak louder than words, and that is what I'm saying. Sometimes you don't have to say a thing. You just have to keep quiet. You just sit and watch. That is basically it. So if you joke with it, you miss the warning or you miss the message. Very simple. This is how it is. Now, I still have one more last phrase that I would still like to cover up in this video, and this is: these words carry weight. These words carry weight. Detoishi nedito. These words carry weight. Detoishi nedito. Detoishi nedito. Now, if you hear someone say that, it means something somewhere is not okay. Something somewhere is not right. So, such kind of phrases may be a warning, or also maybe maybe telling you to watch out before you even say something. These words carry weight. Don't just say anything. Don't just come and blah 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 saying things. No. Kikuyu culture requires you to sit back, think about what you're saying, and then whom you're saying to, where you're saying, and then you can say it. Don't just come bore. You're just opening your mouth and just letting everything out. No, that is totally wrong. So I think this brings me to an end of this video today, and I hope you are able to learn something or one or two things from what I just talked about. And yeah, let me know what you think, and also let me know how do you also how do you see these phrases in your own understanding? Do they really make sense? And also, do you have such kind of phrases in your tribe or where you come from that are not just, they are not just said? If you hear such kind of phrases, there's something somewhere that is not right, or something has to be spoken about, and all that. So yeah, let me hear in the comment section below. And yeah, until we meet in the next one, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to check out my videos. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe if of course you like this content. And yeah, until we meet again, thank you so much. Good evening, and see you in the next one. Bye.